Hey yo, it's your boy Trippy Bob here back in this thing with another video. Hey man, sorry about that noise over there. So niggas be on their motorcycles going crazy. Anyway, I'm here to bring y'all another Dread review, and we ain't gonna waste some more time getting to it. If you ain't a vibber, you ain't a subscriber, you missing out on the best content. All you have to do is press that like button, leave a comment, hit that notification bell so you can learn more content like this. And subscribe, please subscribe. And this Dread review is going to be on Lil Pump, aka the finesse of the century. Anyway, we're about to get into this. We ain't gonna waste some more time. So let's get it poppin'. Mr. Garcia, Gazzy Garcia, aka Lil Pump, the finesse of the century. Well, flexer of the century. Let's just say that. He is currently 18 years old. He was born on August 17th, the 17th, 2000. A little early 2000, baby. I thought he was still 16. I mean, this motherfucker never ages. I thought he was 17 for probably like 3 or 4 years. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He had just turned 18 in August last year. Goddamn. I thought he'd be 19 by now. But anyway, we'll waste some more time getting into this. He was born in Miami, Florida, Miami, Florida. Palm trees. Same place where X and all of them was born. So I see why he had a good connection with X. But let's get into this, man. I've always wondered how embarrassing it would be for rappers to just look back at their old pictures. I bet you it would be boring. I bet you it would be embarrassing as hell. But this is a picture of Lil Pump, aka Gazzy Garcia, when he was in high school. Or probably was junior high, most likely. Most likely high school, I think. But he has straight hair, and Lil Pump is Hispanic. If y'all don't really know his native background, he's Hispanic, so he has straight hair. And for people who have straight hair, it's kind of hard for them to achieve dreads unless they go through certain methods. Here's a picture of it, like pretty much like recently. Let's keep going up till we find something. Let's see. So, Lil Pump, he started out with a fro, more so like a curly fro. And as you can see, his hair is like curly texture. It's straight, but it can eventually get curly because he's Hispanic. And a lot of Hispanic people, they can have a mixture of curly and straight hair. And that's if it's exposed to heat or if he washes it. And this is a picture of him probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And as you can see, he used the rubber band method. And that's how he was able to get his hair to lock up. So I'm guessing that he did a 2-strand twist of his straight hair. And he would then go ahead to use rubber bands. Let's take a look at 2015 because I know that's when he started his dreadlocks. So let's go a little further back. So he used beads too as well. He used rubber bands at the end and 2-strand twists, and then used the beads to try to keep them in place, try to keep the form. Because in all these pictures I see of him, old pictures I see of him, he's using a lot of rubber bands and beads. So it's kind of hard for Hispanic or white people to achieve dreadlocks because their hairs are more of a straight structure and it's more neat and clean. And this is why he dyed his hair blonde. And as you can see, they're getting kind of wispy and kind of dried out. That's because he would probably then go to use gel and rubber bands, and after he washed his hair, he most likely would leave in like a leave-in conditioner to make, or I'm guessing that he's probably used a lot of like salt and vinegar rinse, because it's really hard for straight people to have dreadlocks. And as you can see, they're kind of lengthy in this photo right here. So I've heard from a lot of people that Lil Pump, he kind of did like a starter kit. I mean, not a starter kit, but I think he used extra hair to put in his hair for them to gain length so quickly. But we about to get onto his Instagram and check him out. Lil Pump's Instagram. So let's see what we can get from Lil Pump's Instagram. He has a lot of pictures of his recent dreads today. And I could see that he eventually he probably got two of his dreads, and he did two-strand twist again probably, because as you can see, his hair is like a lot more like longer. He probably used some extra hair, and then he cut a little bit of hair, because as you can see, the knots are there's like knots in between sections, and they're like braided into their own individual locks. They look more so like braids today, because as you can see in most of these pictures, they're braided to knots. They're all braided into knots, and it's more straight hair. Like in this picture, you can see all the straightness. It's a lot of straight hair. So he probably used extra hair from something. Oh my gosh, look at him. Little Pup is he's something else, huh? Make it look like he's pissing money out. But I feel like he did the same method again, and he probably cut his locks a little bit more shorter too, because it doesn't look like they grew anymore. I like the I always admire the braided look, but I mean that's all I could really find from this. I'm pretty much going to get into discussion. So I'm guessing Gazzy Garcia, aka Little Pump, started out with the short haircut, and he probably did this in high school, and then eventually he would just let his hair grow out. At this point, he had to still be in high school, and he probably grew his hair to a fro. And in order for your hair to grow to a fro, when you have straight or curly hair, you have to wash your hair a lot. And uh, maybe he would comb his hair a lot. And eventually he was able to get it to a fro. And at that point, he used the two-strand twist, and he would tie his hair into a knot and then use the rubber bands to keep the knots in place and to keep the locks into forms. And then after a while, he probably would put beads in his hair so he could keep the forms in place too as well. Then he would continue to proceed using a comb, or to achieve the dry look, he probably dyed his hair and blow dried it. And I'm thinking that he used the comb to make it look like it's dry, so it can form into dreads. And that's how he got this look. For multiple months, he continued doing the same thing to where it actually would stay into place. Because I know if you use the rubber bands, if you keep the rubber bands in for probably months or weeks, your hair will eventually lock up and stay into place after you take them out. So eventually he didn't have to use the rubber bands anymore. And during the time that he had the blonde hair, he probably had the extended hair attached to the ones that had the knots. So he ended up braiding the new hair into the knots. And that's how he got this extended look right here. And this became his signature look for a while. So I'm guessing right here he used more extended hair and he tied them into two strand twists, and eventually they became straight at the end because that's the new hair that he has, and he ended up braiding them in two sections, and that's how he was able to gain this look right here. And I actually like this look a lot more better. But this is gonna do it for a Little Pump's dread review. I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video and if I should continue doing these dread reviews. Trust the vibes, it usually doesn't last. See y'all in the next video.